Welcome everybody to another episode of Crypto Cliff Notes. Today we got another exciting session with another NFT creator on Cardano, guys. The CNFT space is popping, as you guys know. We have Thad, the creator of Tangz. If you guys don't know, it's a newer project on the blockchain. It's a project that's been popping. If you guys seen the volume in these projects, Tangz is popping right now. So we wanted you guys to hear from him and hear about the amazing project that he has created. Thad, man, how you doing today, bro?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me on. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
We appreciate you for taking this interview with us. Like I said before, we just got into interviewing, and we want to bring more attention to the CNFT space, and specifically your project for this video. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Background, what got you into cryptos and NFTs and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see by the shirt, Midwestern guy. So
There you
located
go.
in Kansas City. But yeah, I mean, a little bit about me. I used to be a professional developer, but I've always been an amateur artist. So what I did for this project was I essentially took my artwork, which are the hand sketched wild tangs you see, and I sold 4,444 PFPs to fund open source development, which is really what I've done for my whole career. I don't code during my day job anymore, but I figured that if we could get some funding from the PFPs to develop open source, I could help give back to the community. Now, we can talk a little bit more about it later, but the key utility is that beyond the art, which I vibe with, but certain people's taste, and beyond the fact that you're supporting the Cardano open source community, we host the open source code, and only Tangz holders can access the hosted version. So if you're non-technical and you want to think about, hey, I maybe need a minting service, or I want to see my I want to see my NFTs on my phone, which is an iOS app I built and an Android app I built, those are only accessible to the Tangz holders, even though the code is open source.
Okay.
That's
okay.
cool.
Okay. So what got you in? Why Cardano? Why'd you guys choose Cardano instead of ETH or Solana or any other blockchain?
Yeah, my partner, his name is Sunny in the Discord. A close friend. He's been in Cardano for quite a bit since the Buds days. He's actually still a Buds holder, and so a lot of our perspective was there are all these chains out there. There's ETH, there's Solana, whatever. But someone put it to me the other day really well. Cardano is almost like you showed up at Burning Man and there's a bunch of really cool people you're hanging out with, but there are no buildings. So we figured it'd be fun for us to come into a space where there's a great community, but not as many tools and not as many buildings in place, and start building with everybody. And so that's why we chose Cardano.
I like that. I like that, especially because it's so early with NFTs, and especially Cardano. Ethereum is it's a faster chain. It's more developed. It has a lot more adoption over there compared to Cardano. It's just its early stages, and it really starts. This is the foundation. This starts the foundation. This starts the building blocks of those buildings. And I think coming over here was a great choice for sure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I know you and I were talking earlier, like, because some of the chains, I think it's, do they focus on the community or do they focus on the tools? And we'll get there on both of those fronts. But I've really loved starting with the great people I found in the Cardano community and then building the tools on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually another reason why we moved over to Cardano. I mean, we started with Ethereum and Solana, and the community over here is very supportive.
Day and night.
Every day, supporting each other, supporting each other's projects. No project's better than the other. They're always doing collaboration, shooting. I've been seeing a lot of like poker nights. A lot of these projects are coming together and doing poker nights. So they're coming together, and I think that's the most important thing. Instead of having oh, Ethereum's better than Cardano. Like, no, Cardano wants to work with everybody. Cardano wants to work with Solana, Ethereum, different chains. And I think Cardano has a great future starting with the community, like you said.
Yeah, and they don't rush the process. That's a beautiful thing. Like Charles does not mind sitting back for a minute if we got to correct something and fixing it before, you know what I mean? Rather than just, all right, let's hurry up and hit these deadlines and all. That's the other thing people don't realize with like NFTs. Like they see the roadmaps, and if something doesn't hit exactly on a certain timeline, they're like, oh, this project's a rug. It's not going. And it's like, it takes time to develop here and there. Like you got to realize that.
Yeah, totally. And we've seen that with our own community. I mean, what I've been so blown away with is like the ability for people to work with me. There's an artist, his name's Cobra. He does the Wild Card show. And, he had a set of he had a set of photos he had taken and was looking to turn them into NFTs. And rather than just saying like, hey, I'm going to go pay a bunch of money, or I'm going to put a package together, I'm going to make some big promo splash. He was working with me on how to develop my minting service tools and how we could make each other's stuff better. He just got verified on JPEG, and I bought one right away. But it's been awesome to see that kind of collaboration and that patience and working to build the tools for the ecosystem.
Yeah, no doubt. It's what, like he's saying, like that's the one beautiful thing with Cardano. Like it's rare you're gonna see other projects pushing other projects. Usually, like a lot of these spaces, like, no, I want my project to be this and this. This space, it's cool. Everybody seems like they're helping everybody grow. It's like it's a big family, and I mean, there hasn't been that many rugs on Cardano.
Exactly.
It's been good. So when exactly did you guys come out? When did you come out with this mint? When was your like official mint?
Yeah, so our official mint date was June 15th. We had 4,444 at about 30. I don't know why I said about, but it was 30 ADA. So you get back a couple, obviously, with the NFT. But yeah, so 30 ADA was the mint price. And then I'm trying to think back. We sold out probably 2 weeks ago now. So it was about a 3-week long mint.
Okay.
And we could talk about it more later, but really what put us over the edge is we announced a partnership with Clumsy Ghosts, where we're going to build the open source technology to power the Clumsy Valley, which is their play to mint experience. And so once we did that, we really saw a lot of engagement from different parts of the community who realized the potential to build these kind of tools.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what would your next step be in terms of like new mints, anything like that, coming out with new characters? What's your next phase on your roadmap?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I'll just be totally honest, like given the market conditions and we're new and we came right out swinging, I wasn't expecting to sell out this fast. So we're still working through it. But the plan since the jump was always one Tangz, one vote. So anybody who's a Tangz holder, and we're verified on secondary, so you can go get us on JPEG or Epic Art. So anyone who's a Tangz holder gets a chance to vote on the roadmap. The initial mint funded a few months. I think we're looking at like 3 to 6 months more of funding. So we're pretty good there. But what we're going to have to decide as a community is like, do we do a series 2 to fund it, 6 to 12 months down the line? Do we start to monetize the tools for non-Tangz holders? And that's how we keep this community going. And then it's free for Tangz holders. We're having all those conversations. So if folks go in the Discord and check out the roadmap and some of those discussions, they'll see kind of how we're thinking about it.
It's great that you not necessarily let them, but you give the community a big part of the say.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. The community actually is going to vote on what we build, right? I mean, I think the goal here is to say, hey, I have a set of skills that I love doing, but honestly, if I'm sitting over here in a vacuum, that's kind of lonely and boring. Why don't we build something together, right? I'm the type of person who, if you tell me to go build a flying car, then maybe I'll say, oh, what about putting a third row in the back? I think this kind of collab and how we build together, that's more exciting for me than just building tools in a vacuum.
Yeah, because you hear everybody's ideas and then you're like, let's mesh all this together and come up with a superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. So being a holder of these NFTs, what are some other benefits? Of course, you said, they're going to have access to the open source or whatnot. What are some other benefits that you guys have? Any raffle or any giveaways, any coins or anything like that you guys plan on coming out with, or, what's the focus on the benefits for holding these NFTs?
Yeah, well, we encourage people to jump in the Discord for giveaways. We're constantly running giveaways, and we try to do at least one a week where we're engaging another community for whitelists and NFTs and spots. We actually recently just finished one with Werewolves World, which I love the art on that. I thought it was pretty fun. It's kind of a knockoff on, not a knockoff, but an inspiration of Degen Tunes, but has a whole lot of werewolf characters. So we always try to do as many collabs as we can for the community. And if you're in the Discord and you're active, you'll see those. Beyond the votes on the roadmap and the access to the hosted tools, in the future, we're going to talk about what we can do for Tangz holders. I don't think we have a full kind of idea of this yet, but we've talked about other projects and could there be interactions with other projects? Could you get early access? If Tangz tools help power some other projects, could that project give early access to the holders? So I think that's all in the works, but like we've said, it's super early days.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Still in development.
Yeah.
And no tokens at the moment. Sorry, I know you asked that, but no tokens at the moment. We've thought about it, but not quite yet.
Are you guys planning on any style collaborations with any like Metaverse to put your project out there with others?
Yeah, that's our goal. I initially looked into an early version of the roadmap being around building metaverse experiences, but I don't quite have the design background, to be honest, so it wouldn't look that good.
Okay.
But what we did is, so the first kind of metaverse, a little bit lightweight experience, is going to be the Clumsy Valley. That's going to be built all on top of our tools, and then we'll I'm going to talk to Eli and the team and see if there's kind of a way for Tangz holders to integrate there with their the Tangz in their wallet. I would say in terms of other metaverse stuff, we're actually today hosting an art gallery that the Winged Warriors are putting on in the metaverse in spatial.io. So I encourage people, if it's already passed, maybe you could go look at a replay, or we could maybe host it again. But we're doing kind of fun things inside the metaverse from that perspective. So this experience is going to be the Winged Warriors hosting an art gallery. Tangz holders are going to join, and then we're going to use the Tangz tools to mint stuff live from the metaverse. So it's going to kind of be like a real-time art show. You're going to see the NFTs created, and it's both going to be, a neat metaverse experience for us to all hang out together, but also a way to show off everything that's cool we're building.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. I like the perspective of joining forces with other people that kind of already are doing it, because we say it all the time, like a lot of people come in and they want to develop this NFT project or this metaverse or this game, instead of, okay, you have people that are already working on the chain, already working on this metaverse and working on this virtual reality and virtual world. Why not join forces if they already have this stuff developed? They have the people to develop it, So a lot of people come in and have this term on their roadmap, metaverse, but use it so loosely that they just give, false acquisitions, and people just buy into the idea. I mean, that's kind of what metaverse is right now. It's all speculation right now, as of right now. But, you'll see later down the road, next 2, 3, 4 years, who's actually producing this metaverse and this play to earn game that they're creating. So I like that you guys did that. I like the idea that joining forces with others. Do you guys have any other collaborations, ideas as of right now? Any projects that you guys are looking to collab with, other than I know you said Clumsy Ghosts, and what was the other one?
Clumsy Ghosts. We're doing a metaverse art gallery of the Winged Warriors. That's not really Winged Warriors is the one hosting it. I mean, I think I would say that's all we have in the works for now. That's official. We're always talking to artists, and definitely a lot of independent artists too, but that's more around how to use the tools and how to bring their art collections to life. I would encourage anyone who's listening to this, if you have a community you're part of and you want to say, hey, how could we make this better with certain open source tools? How could we take the power of some developer who's really passionate about it and wants to make Cardano better? You can always approach me for collabs. So we're always talking to people, but in terms of officials, those two ones are the ones we're really focusing on. And if I could just add, I think you made such a great point, which is like, just because Uber didn't build the iPhone doesn't make it any less valuable. Like Uber is an app on the iPhone. Uber doesn't exist without the iPhone, right? And I think that's kind of the mindset I try to have, is like, where can I be uniquely differentiated here and do something really cool? And where can I just use something else that everyone already has anyway?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, I got a question for you. So
Shit.
if you're new in the game, right? Somebody new, just find out your project, stuff like that. Any kind of recommendation on what they should go after in terms of maybe characters, mints, different traits, that kind of thing? Do you have anything? Where would you go? Would you pick a floor? Is there certain stuff they should look for that might be beneficial down the road?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So great point. So a couple things. So one is the Tangz are all equivalent in terms of doing things with the tools. So if you buy a floor and you want to use the minter, you're good. So don't worry too much about traits on that. But I love the art, man. Like, I love being involved with it. So we have this one trait called a bird's nest. And right now it's got a golden egg on it. And we have been teasing that since day one. We've had a plan for how to hatch the egg. Now, it's going to involve a bit of a game. It's going to be interactive. There may be certain one-of-ones that hatch out of it. We're still working on the plot line, but before the policy expires in November, that bird's nest is going to do something fun. So if you're into that kind of gamification of your NFT and you want to see what's in the egg, that's where I would recommend you look.
And how many of those are available?
I think there's maybe somewhere around 50. It's like around 1%. It's
Any idea of like their floor right now?
I could look. It's closer to 1,000, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 900. Yeah.
That's a good number.
So yeah, it's pretty decent. But I will say I love certain. I mean, my personal favorite trait, the one that was the best to do for me, both drawing and looking, is zombie. I'm a big fan of the zombies. But yeah, other than that, the egg we're hoping to do something cool with. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we like to throw that out. Like I said, for somebody that might be just catching the video for the first time, want to get involved, like give them a little bit of a jump start of which way they should go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I encourage you to play around, find something that meets your needs. I mean, one of the most rewarding things for me as an artist is, this is something I create, and I wonder how are people going to vibe with it. And I actually got a DM from someone yesterday who was saying how, like, when they saw the Rasta hat, it spoke to them and their Afro-Caribbean heritage. And I was like, that's so cool, So
Right.
if you find something that vibes with you and you want to get in the project, man, pick something you love for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, like I said, certain projects, you know what I mean? They go by like a top 100, top 1000's worth this much more. You get like royalties. And one thing I do like is how you're giving everybody, at least with voting power, it's like it's even across the board. Doesn't matter where you minted, what traits you have, anything like that. And then you can throw in the special perks depending on your rarity, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you'll always be able to add on to that whenever you want. That's the cool part, especially being a designer.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
So, I mean, just to wrap it up, I mean, is there anything else you wanted to share about the project? Anything upcoming that we should look for? Anything any alpha you want to give out there for the community?
Yeah, well, we kind of covered it in the beginning, but definitely check us out. The utility is live, right? And even if you don't buy, you join our Discord. We have a releases channel, right? So I'm going to highlight 3 really cool things. The first just got approved on the App Store for iOS and is going through Android App Store, but is going to be out there, is we have the first NFT home screen widget. So I have posted some photos, but there are these beautiful big home screen widgets that I made that can display your wallet. It only works if your wallet has a Tangz in it. But like, I sometimes pull up my home screen and I see this beautiful dead rabbit, or I see this beautiful clumsy ghost. That's because it's constantly refreshing and cycling through my NFTs, and it helps bring it home to me. So that's one thing we have live. That's utility for our holders. The second thing we have live is on our site. It's a 1 of 1 mint machine. So you can just upload any file type. It could be an image, a video, a 3D model we've had people do. And without any code, you can mint an NFT straight from your browser. It puts the NFT right back in your wallet, and you can do whatever you want with it. So this is kind of nice to get small artists engaged. And like I mentioned, people like Cobra have used this to build small collections that you can then list on JPEG. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is we have a full-scale vending machine. So we have what we believe to be the first zero-code vending machine that's completely run in your browser. There are no wild Tangz servers. And what it does is you can upload hundreds of metadata files at a time and actually do large scale drops from your browser. So we have one independent artist I'm working with to craft the metadata, and he's putting out a 500-piece collection, going to run it all from his browser. So I would encourage you to check out, if you're interested, go lurk in the Discord, check the releases. And yeah, we would love to have more people in our community because we're always trying to make Cardano better.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. That's like stepping into the whole nother realm of things, because like you're looking, okay, how can I help the community? Of course, you have people that are making the metaverses and games and cool fun art and stuff like that, but you guys are looking outside the box of like, okay, how can we make, because I mean I've minted many projects, we've both minted many projects, and we've seen really great mints that happen quick, and then we've also seen mints that, shoot, we haven't got our NFT for 24 hours type deal. You know what I mean? Like, some are really, really slow, but you guys are finding a solution in the Cardano network to solve the problem of minting. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming up on here. When
Let me give him one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick, since you're closer than us, and I know we'll be there. So one we've been asking everybody, you have any plans on being out at CNFTCON in Vegas?
We do, yeah. I'm hoping to get there. I don't know if my partner can get there. I think he might have a birthday or some pre-existing engagement, but I think it'll be me. I'm doing my best. I've said this before on other podcasts, but my wife works crazy hours. She's a medical resident, so if we can make the family schedule work, I'm there.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll be out there, so hopefully we'll get to meet everybody. That's what'll
that'd
be
great.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Pull all these projects together. Come out with a super project.
Awesome, man. Well, look, we appreciate you for hopping up on here and sharing some value about your project. Hopefully anyone that sees this, I will put the description down below with their Discord, website, Twitter, all that good stuff for you guys to access that. And hey, if you like the project, you like what you guys saw, go ahead and invest, maybe something that you like, maybe a rare, or, just grab a floor and get yourself, the utility of their services. Okay,
become part of the community.
Absolutely. Again,
I appreciate
thank you so
guys.
much, Dad. Man,
thank you.
It means a lot. Let's keep building up CNFT community. Let's keep building up the blockchain as a whole. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.